Hey there, and welcome to That's a Wrap. This is the show where I run through the games, comics, movies, and TV that I consumed during the month of February 2022, as well as look forward to what's coming out in March 2022. So, first up, let's talk about the games that I played this month. I was obsessed. I think that's probably the best way to say it. I was obsessed with mainly two games this month, and they are both games that one of them you can finish, and I've already played previously, but the main focus was that I played a crap ton of Destiny 2. I actually released a Destiny 2 Witch Queen expansion video for part of the Let's Take a Crack At series that should be up as of yesterday when this video goes live. But leading up to that new expansion, I went back and played some of the previous expansions that I had missed. As explained in that video, I totally missed out on pretty much anything after the base game. I skipped out on Warmind, I skipped out on Curse of Osiris, even though that expansion wasn't too great. I skipped out on those two, and then Forsaken, Shadowkeep, and even Beyond Light. So I missed everything between launch Destiny and now, the Witch Queen. But I said, you know what, I'm going to rectify that. Knowing that Forsaken was going to be sunset, I was like, okay, crap, so I'm not going to be able to do everything. But at least I'll be able to play through the story missions. So I spent my time playing through the whole campaign. Loved it to death. I was really sad to hear that and see that Cade 6 had been killed off. For anyone keeping up with the characters and the story in Destiny, I'm not super well versed with the story. There's a lot of holes in my knowledge, and even now I don't have every piece filled in, but I'm at least playing through these campaigns to get the larger overall story. So Cade 6 was killed off, and we went out and went to the Tangled Reef and hunted down the people behind it, responsible. So really cool. I had a blast with the story. I had a really good time getting back into Destiny, and I loved it to death. And I also finished Destiny 2 Shadowkeep main mission storyline. Now again, there was a lot of aspects of it that I didn't finish, but the through campaign, the through storyline of completing the main chunk of the story missions, I finished that. And I'm considering that wrapped up. There's a few lingering things that I may get around to, because I'm assuming Shadowkeep is going to be the next thing that will be sunset, given the next expansion, which is coming out in 2024, I think they announced. I don't remember. Again, getting back in the Destiny community is kind of jarring and shocking, because I've been away for a little while. So yeah, so Shadowkeep was really fun. Forsaken was all about the Tangled Shore, as well as the Fallen and the Awoken Queen, her brother, terrible names, don't remember names, but her brother, who eventually came back as the Crow, because I've just started playing Beyond Light alongside the Witch Queen. I'm probably going to go back and finish Beyond Light first. But the story is kind of confusing, convoluted, and I know there's seasons within between some of these expansions now that kind of explains a little bit more and adds more depth and a little bit more padding to the story. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really liking it though. It's been really fun. I've been having a really good time with it, and I'm really glad I decided to sit down and play through Forsaken. And finish my thought, what I was saying before. So Forsaken was all about Tangled Shore and the Fallen, and Shadowkeep was all about the Moon and the Hive, which, for most people, myself included, are probably the most interesting group of villains, bad juju force that you can have in Destiny. They're just so unique, kind of like the Flood, I guess, in a way. But now that there's like pocket dimensions and all kinds of weird contorted worlds, and these pyramids are a thing now, and the Red Keep itself was cool as fuck. So like there's tons of depth and lore to these characters and this race, and I'm just, every time I hear something new about them, I am continuously shocked. So I'm excited to get back into the Witch Queen, but like I said, I do want to play through Beyond Light first, get all of that story taken care of, as well as unlock the 4th subclass from that campaign. So hopefully in March I'll be able to wrap that up. But something did come out in March, or at the end of February, that's been kind of keeping me a little busy. Elden Ring. I think that's what's playing in the background of this video. So Elden Ring's kept me a little busy, but yeah. So really, that was the only two things that I finished this month, gaming wise. Otherwise, I put a few, I think it was like 10 hours into the new Cyberpunk 2077 PS5 release. So didn't finish it, but Destiny has kept me more than entertained. I've put in many hours. It's probably 30 some odd hours, and given my work schedule, 30 something is not too bad. I'm pretty busy as it is nowadays. So yeah, that was what I played during the month of February. And with that, let's move on over to comics. Yeah, comics/manga. I'm going to start off with my manga that I read this month. Instead of breaking it down by chapters, I decided I'm going to just list volumes that I've read, because I tend to read manga in chunks of volumes anyway. I look up, okay, it's chapter X to chapter Y, and that's how many chapters I have to read. So for One Piece, the manga that will never end and that I've been reading for years it seems, and playing catch up on for years it seems, I read chapters 69 volumes 69 and volume 70, and that wrapped up the Punk Hazard arc, and it looks like we're just getting into the Dressrosa arc. I think that's the arc that we're in. I don't know the official names, but it looks like things are about to really pop off. It's cool to see how strong all of our characters have gotten, and they really got to flex during this last arc to show that, you know, while they did have to fight, it wasn't nearly the battle that we'd seen previously in earlier arcs and earlier volumes. So definitely impressive, and something that I'm really looking forward to see evolve. I really want to see what Doflamingo's like, because we've only got a little bit of a taste of what he is like as a character, and I'm really interested to see how this alliance between Luffy and Law kind of works out, and how all the other pirates around the world, pirate captains around the Grand Line, they're all just kind of creating their own alliances, and I'm interested to see how it all plays out, and I'm super stoked. I'm super stoked to keep reading it. But I've stumbled into a new series. I did start Yu Yu Hakusho. I think it was it last month I started it? I think so. And I finished the first volume, and I do want to go back, but I just haven't yet. Because I started reading Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, the anime I did watch a few episodes of, and I was like, you know, it's probably really good, but I didn't discover it through the anime. I discovered it through the manga. So I'm going to go back and finish up the first volume, and I love it. It's another shonen, really good. It just like kind of like Demon Slayer, I can't really get into the anime because I read the manga all the way through first before I even watched one episode of the anime. So it feels a little bit weird and disconnected, where I think up till now, the only show that I've been able to balance between watching the anime and reading the manga was Naruto. Otherwise, I'd only read Bleach. I've only watched Death Note, tried reading it, couldn't really get into it. So it's like a weird balancing act. Same with Attack on Titan. Only ever watched Attack on Titan, never read it. So, you know, Jujutsu Kaisen, as good as the anime may be, I'm probably just going to stick with the manga because it's been fun. And on to comics. I'm going to kind of break up. There's like two little segments, I guess, basically within this that I'm going to break up. The first is that I read volumes 5 and volume 6 of the Witcher series. Volume 5, Fading Memories, and volume 6, which is Lament. I didn't really like them. It sucks because coming off of volume 4 was so good, really good. I had a blast reading it. But volume 5 was okay at best. It was basically a story about how Geralt is feeling not needed because a lot of towns are turning him away, saying, we can hunt our own monsters, we don't need you. And then Geralt ends up meeting a guy who's a fisherman, having difficulties fishing, and Geralt actually helps him fish, and the guy felt needed and felt important and did what he loved, and it ends up kind of going sideways from there and goes down, but it's just a story of feeling needed and feeling wanted, and then it involves a town needing Geralt only when they needed him, and it was an interesting exploration about that aspect of a Witcher's life, but it just didn't really draw me in. I liked it, but it wasn't. I guess I keep comparing it back to Volume 4, which I just absolutely loved. Volume 5 wasn't bad; it was just not that great. It was a readable, enjoyable story for what it was, but I think that's kind of it. Now, Volume 6, I actually didn't like Volume 6 at all. If I'm being totally honest, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a controversial take or not, but I couldn't get into the story. It was, again, an exploration of Geralt feeling like, did I do the right thing? Questioning his instincts, basically. Like, you get a job, you do a job, but is that always right? Did I do the right thing? And kind of a reflection onto your own thought process, and then how you kind of look at what you have laid out in front of you. I think the only redeeming quality is that the art in this particular volume was impeccable. I initially was like, oh, okay, this is really weird. This is not what I'm used to. But by the end of it, and hopefully the screenshot I'm showing, I loved it. It was really cool, really naturey and flowy. Panels bled into each other. A lot of color work was really well done, over the top at times, and it worked for the kind of story it was going for. But I don't know. I couldn't jive with the story, but I understood what it was going for. But just something about it it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't really like it. But the art, outstanding. Top. I loved the art. I thought it was really, really good. So yeah, as for reading volumes wise of manga, or not manga, comics, those are really all that I've read, just volumes 5 and 6 of The Witcher. But I've been reading individual issues. I read issue 1 of She-Hulk 2022 run. I think this is a 5-issue run? 5 or 6? I don't remember. At this point, issue 2 is not out yet. Promising. I just want to read a little bit of She-Hulk because the new Disney Plus show is coming out, and I don't really know anything about She-Hulk, so seems interesting. It seems like she is more in control as opposed to early Bruce Banner, who now has become, is it Dr. Hulk? Professor Hulk? Basically, they work together, as we saw in the most recent Infinity War and Endgame movies. So yeah, it was pretty good. Not really much else to say, kind of just establishing issue, setting characters up and setting things up. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Now, as for my current ongoing comic series, well, it's not ongoing, I don't know how to say it. Instead of reading it by volume, I decided to pick up Invincible and read it based off of compendium. So I've read the first few issues, and I really like it. Another example of a show that I knew existed on Amazon Plus, or Amazon Plus, everything's Plus, on Amazon Prime Video, but something about it, I just didn't really I didn't really get drawn to it, but then I was like, you know what? The comic exists. It's by Robert Kirkman. I loved The Walking Dead. Started reading, he has that new series that I can't remember the name of. Not Outlast. There's another one. Oblivion Song. He has Oblivion Song. And I started reading that and I was like, oh, this is cool. Let's go back. I'm going to go back to one of his earlier things. And I didn't realize there was so much to Invincible. There's 3 compendiums worth, so I'll kind of give you updates as I go along. So far, it's cool. I don't really know much about Invincible. I know at some point, like a spoiler to myself, the dad kind of loses it. But I don't know why. I've seen inklings that something is weird. I'm guessing this is going to be a real... probably, how would you describe it? Like flipping you on your head as you're reading it. So you're probably going to be reading quite a few issues of normal teen getting powers, learning how to use them, learning, to be an adult, going into adulthood, college, girls. I'm guessing it's going to be a lot of that. And then it's just going to be flipped. That's my guess. And then shit's going to hit the fan and just be bonkers. That's what I'm assuming, but so far so good. I'm really into it. I've read a lot of comics this month. Been trying to be more studious and read more books, but it hasn't really been happening. Hopefully next month I can report back that I've at least finished a novel. So anyway, yeah, those are the comics I read. Really fun. Had a great time with them. If you are all interested in sharing what you guys have read, if you read anything, let me know in the comments down below. And as for movies this month, that kind of not keeping up with my personal goal of watching at least one movie a week. There's always time to make up for it, and I don't want to kick myself too hard because I've been working a lot. So I've only watched the new Uncharted movie. I thought it was pretty good. I don't think that Mark Wahlberg was a good cast for Sully. There's a bit of a clip at the end, second post-credit scene. Yeah, there's an end credit scene and then there's a second one. The second one makes it a little bit more promising, potentially, but I didn't think Tom Holland was a good Nathan Drake in the beginning. Kind of warmed up to him at the end. I'm not a movie critic by any means. But I do appreciate just a good, dumb popcorn flick. And this felt like I was watching Uncharted being played in front of me. It felt like an action movie. Enjoyed I eat popcorn sometimes at movies. I enjoyed my Sour Patch Kids and my Diet Coke. And I was happy, so... It was a nice Friday off kind of movie, so that's what I ended up doing. Oh, and I actually got a free ticket to go see it because I did buy the PS5 remaster, there's the word, remaster of Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy. So yeah, that kind of was really nice too. Free ticket to go see it. Yeah, not too much to complain about. So yeah, at the end of the day, it was really good for what it was. Better than most cruddy video game adaptations, and definitely if they kind of hone in on what worked in this, a sequel could probably turn out pretty good. So I'm really excited to see that. Hopefully Sony announces something before too long, because I think that it did make some money. Exaggeration, or a bit of a hyperbole there. Yeah, it made a lot of money. So hopefully we see something for Uncharted 2 before too long, because I'd be excited to see what it turns out to be. And lastly, for the content I consumed in February, TV shows. I finished Ted Lasso Season 1. I love the show. Super adorable. Haven't clicked with a TV show like this in a very long time. My girlfriend and I have been watching this, and I love it. The characters are great. The concept of fish out of water is really well done, with a football coach coaching men's soccer, men's football. So it is really neat to see that fish out of water story, and like interesting occurrences of sabotage and self-sabotage and family drama and character relations and true character growth. It really is a show that I haven't seen do something so well since, I would say, The Office. I know that's overplayed a lot, but it does give me Office vibes in that sense, where it's just really well written and it's self-aware of what it is and what it's trying to portray and present to the viewer. And I think it handles a lot of stuff really well, especially into season 2, which I'm in the middle of right now. Almost done. Probably, well, we'll finish it up next month. But yeah, this, if you have Apple TV Plus, go watch this as one of your first shows, because this is for sure one of the best and one of the funniest shows I've watched in quite a long time. So, with all of the media I consumed this month out of the way, let's roll right into what we can look forward to next month with the upcoming releases from March 2022. So on March 1st, we'll get ELEX 2 coming to Windows, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series systems. Now this was one of those smaller budget AA RPGs. I never played the first. I think I have it on Steam. Either Steam or I got it free somewhere. I can't remember, but it seemed interesting to me, but I just never went back and played it. Maybe the sequel will pull me in, but there's so many games that I'm playing, and even games coming out in March that I'm looking forward to, that sadly this one probably going to fall by the wayside. We also have Far Changing Tides coming to Windows, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. And another big one on March 1st, Shadow Warrior 3 coming to Windows, PS4, and Xbox One. And if you actually subscribe to PS Now, you get that day one, and I think it's coming to Game Pass day one. Don't quote me on that, but I think it might. Potentially. But I know it's coming to PlayStation Now for sure. Then on March 3rd, Babylon's Fall is coming to Windows, PS4, and PS5. I don't know what to think of this. I don't like the fact that it's like a multiplayer, like Destiny-esque kind of thing, if I'm understanding it correctly. I have a feeling that it's going to go the way of Godfall. I hope not, because it looks cool and I think I might pick it up. But I might wait for reviews because I am actually kind of worried about this one. It looked unique when it first was shown off, but it kind of doesn't look like it's like that anymore. I don't know. We'll see. Regardless, that's coming out on March 3rd. Another big day on March 4th, Gran Turismo 7 is coming to PS4 and PS5, as well as Triangle Strategy is coming to Nintendo Switch. Neither of those games really scratch an itch that I have in particular. I understand Gran Turismo is super well regarded, and it looks really cool. I like looking at the pretty visuals. I'm not gonna lie. And Triangle Strategy, while I'm not a strategy kind of game person, still looks really cool, and I am super excited for those that are excited for that release. Then March 8th, we have Spellforce 3 Reforced coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series systems. March 10th, we have .hack GU Last Recode coming to Nintendo Switch. Aztec Forgotten Gods coming to Windows, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series systems. Chocobo Grand Prix, or GP, coming to Nintendo Switch. Another mouthful. Dokuyusei Bangin' Summer coming to Windows. And on March 11th, we have WWE 2K22 coming to Windows, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series systems. March 15th, we have The Cruel King and the Great Hero coming to Nintendo Switch and PS4. And then Grand Theft Auto Online and Grand Theft Auto 5 coming to next-gen systems on the PS5 and the Xbox Series systems. I know it's going to sell like gangbusters, and it's going to make me so upset because I just want GTA 6 over GTA 5. I'm not going to buy it again. I refuse. If I get it free, cool. Otherwise, I'm not going to play it again because I played it on PS3, PS4, and PC. So I'm well over this game and I want to move on. But hey, those that like it, yeah, hey, I'm excited for you. And then finally on the 15th, Phantom Breaker Omnia is coming to Windows, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PS5. On March 16th, Tunic is coming to Windows, Mac, love to see it, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series systems. On March 16th, Anno Mutationem, gonna go with that, is coming to Windows, PS4, and PS5. Galgun Double Peace is coming to Nintendo Switch. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax is coming to Windows, Nintendo Switch, and PS4. And then The Settlers is coming to Windows. On March 18th, Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin is coming to Windows, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series systems. So I'm actually kind of excited for this one. I didn't play the test when it came out, or the demo, I guess you could call it, when it came out. Only because when the first demo came out, it didn't work. it wouldn't launch. No matter what you did, it would not launch. So I honestly forgot about it, because they did re-release the demo and it came out and it was in a working state. And I totally missed it. Didn't play it. Forgot it existed. All I remembered was chaos. That was the big word and the meme that came out of it. My man wanted nothing but chaos. So, is this going to be good? No idea. I have a few friends that have already pre-ordered it because I can see it on PlayStation. But otherwise, I have no idea. And then finally on the 18th, Siberia, The World Before is coming to Windows. On March 22nd, Rune Factory 5 is coming to Nintendo Switch. On March 24th, The Ascent is coming to PS4 and PS5. This one looks really cool. I actually installed it on Game Pass on my Series S, but I haven't played it yet. I'm intrigued. I want to check it out. And then The Relayer is coming to PS4 and PS5. And this is a huge day. March 25th. 3 bangers. We have Ghostwire Tokyo coming to Windows and PS5. Got that pre-ordered. Kirby and the Forgotten Land coming to Nintendo Switch. My girlfriend has that pre-ordered and I'm going to play it with her. And Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is coming to Windows, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series systems. Not as intrigued. I'm just not a huge Borderlands guy. I played Borderlands 1 and 2 and a good chunk of 3, but I find myself really fighting through them and to finish them. I don't know what it is. Maybe Tiny Tina's will change my mind, but I probably not. But as for Ghostwire Tokyo, I'm super stoked for that. I don't know what it's about. I'm kind of keeping myself in the dark. I know it's a first person, almost like you're going around cleansing ghosts away game. Weird. I just love Tango Gameworks. They're really great developers. I loved The Evil Within 2, so I'm really excited to see what comes from them in this game, as well as the future that they have at Microsoft. So super stoked. 25th is a huge day during this month. Keep an eye out. On March 29th, we have Crusader Kings 3 coming to PS5 and the Xbox Series systems, and then Crystar coming to Nintendo Switch. On March 30th, Death Stranding Director's Cut is coming to Windows. And then on March 31st, Weird West is coming to Windows, PS4, and Xbox One. So there we go. That was February, as well as the games coming out in March. What do you guys think? Did you play anything fun? Did you go see any cool movies? Did you read any cool things? Comics? Manga? A book? I try and do it all. So yeah, I'm loving this series. I've been trying to change the graphics, been trying to make it a little bit more appealing. Hopefully you guys like some of the changes, even if they are subtle. I'm trying to put a little bit more effort into some of these things, and even if no one watches it, and you know what, that's okay. I've been having a blast again, making videos and making content, and that's all I can ask for. That's all I can really ask for. So at the time this video goes up, it's not going to be out yet, but for anyone who has stuck around this long, I actually am going to be working on a new cleanup crew with my little brother. We are going to be talking about the new Pokemon Diamond, Brilliant Diamond, He's already finished Pokemon Legends Arceus, but I've been so busy with work and trying to play other games that I haven't been able to finish it yet. But that could be another one in the pipeline. But for sure, I've been working through some of the art assets for the new Cleanup Crew episode. So stay tuned for that. That will be coming out sometime in March. It just depends on when I get around to editing and when we actually get around to recording some audio. So anyway, this has been February. That's a wrap for February. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, let me know. I appreciate you. So anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next one.